Welcome back to Sacred and Unfiltered, y'all. Hi, I'm Genesis, the Rebel PK. I'm also your unconventional church girl. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this is your first time, welcome to this safe space. For those of you who are returning, shout out to the SU crew. Thank y'all so much for always showing up for your girl. Listen, before we dive in, I want to make sure that you are following the show. If you're tuning in by way of Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, leave a review, leave a rate. Share this show with someone else who would love to tap in. And then for those of you who are viewing or listening via YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Today we are unpacking something heavy, but I do feel it is extremely necessary, and that is breaking generational religion. Sometimes the faith that we inherit is not the faith that we need. And when we realize that, it can quite literally feel like the rug is being pulled out from underneath us. But it is not destruction, it's liberation. And I want us to actually talk about what that really looks like. Okay? All right, get comfy cuz we gon' get into it. All right. Generational religion is like an invisible blueprint, right? It's handed down to us at birth. And then it comes with all of these rules. It has all of these rituals, all of these expectations. It has this guilt, right? Before you even do something, you already laced with guilt, right? But you follow them. You follow the blueprint because your parents, your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, your church leaders, that's just what they did. And maybe at some point you didn't even question it, because questioning the faith feels like disrespect. It feels like rebellion or even sin. If you think about it, really think about it, you go to church every Sunday because that's just what you do. That's what we do. We go to church on Sundays. On Sundays we do church, right? You don't question it. You don't question the doctrine. You just believe because grandmama believed it. Mama believed it. So this is what it is. And then if you do start to think something contrary to what you've been taught, you get that judgment from relatives, right? When your face starts looking a little different, you get that whispered critiques from people in your church, and then slowly but surely over the years, you start living someone else's faith script. Yeah. It's not your faith. It's mama's faith. It's daddy's faith. It's grandma's faith. And so you forget what your own relationship with God even feels like. Some of us don't even have our own relationship with God because we got our relationship based off of the relationship that our parents had with him. I vividly remember sitting in church one Sunday morning, listening to words that I had repeated 1,000 times. The affirmation of faith. I have said this thing at 1,000 times for sure. And something in me clicked, and I was just like, I don't feel God in this. It just felt like duty. It felt like obligation. It felt like performance. And that moment shook me. It shook me, and honestly, it took me a long time to figure out how to untangle myself from that moment. I probably was about 2021. Generational religion is not just about tradition. It's not just about tradition. It literally shapes your emotions, your identity, and your faith in ways that you might not even recognize because it's all you know. It's all you know. Emotionally, it can tie you up in guilt and shame. Yes. Spiritually, it can make you feel like a checklist instead of a relationship. These things that you have to do in order to be spiritually fit. And then culturally, it pressures you to conform even when your soul is screaming for authenticity. Yeah. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. You can feel very deeply connected to God, right? And then you can also feel very deeply disconnected from the religious culture that you were raised in. Yeah. And I know it's heavy right there, right? It's, woo, that's a lot. That's a lot. But that's where liberation begins. That's where freedom really happens. And if we be honest, some of the rules that we inherit, they don't make no damn sense anyway. They don't make no damn sense. Like, why does me skipping church on Sunday make me a bad Christian? Jesus wasn't even in them synagogues. He wasn't even in them synagogues. He did not live his life that way. He questioned religious norms. He called out hypocrisy, and he prioritized relationship over ritual. But here we are, trying to live a 24/7 devotional life while stuck in someone else's religious expectations. Yeah, that's what we doing. That's what we doing. So how can we break the cycle? What can we do to get out of this? Because I know there are some of you that are listening, and this is the space that you're in. So let me help you. Let me help you. The first thing that you need to do is you need to identify it. You need to identify it. You need to identify what traditions, what rules, and expectations. You need to identify those things that you're following simply because they were just passed on to you. They were passed down. Think about those traditions. Think about those rules. Think about those expectations. Which of them serve your growth and which of them hold you back? The second thing you need to do is you need to create your own rhythm. Spirituality is not a one size fits all type of thing. It is very, very deeply personal. So maybe that looks like journaling in the morning. Maybe it looks like praying on your walk instead of showing up to midnight prayer cries. Maybe it looks like questioning. Yeah, actually ask God the hard questions. Ask God the hard questions and let him be bigger than your doubt, because he going to give you an answer. He going to give you an answer. And the last thing in breaking generational religion, y'all, you got to be prepared for the pushback. Be prepared for the pushback. Your family, your friends, your church leaders, they're not going to understand. A lot of them will not understand. Some of them will shame you. And that's okay. That's okay. Because you don't need permission to live authentically. You don't need that. God gave you your faith and it is yours to steward, not anybody else's. Okay? So breaking generational religion is not rebellion for the sake of rebellion. You understand what I'm saying? It's not that at all. It's reclaiming your God-given authority. It's saying, I honor my roots, but I will not let tradition limit my relationship with God. And sometimes I know it's messy and it's scary, but it is worth it. I'm here to tell you, baby, it's worth it. I am a third generation Kojic kid. I have been detached from the Church of God in Christ, although I attend a church that is Kojic, for years. So I get it. I understand. It's scary, but I promise you it's so much more peace on this other side. I want you to take a moment and I want you to reflect. What part of your faith is truly yours? And then what part of it is inherited? Write it down if you need to. Say it out loud. Pray over it. Ask God to help you untangle the layers and discover freedom. And while you're on this journey, I want you to say this to yourself. I honor my roots, but I will not let tradition limit my relationship with God. Say it to yourself every day if you need to. I honor my roots, but I will not let tradition limit my relationship with God. And here's another one. Here's another affirmation, if you will, that you can throw in. I will seek God on my own terms, and I will not apologize for the way that he reveals himself to me. Let me say it again. Turn my mic up. I will seek God on my own terms, and I will not apologize for the way that he reveals himself to me. Now, you can take the wisdom and the lessons from your family, your church, your mentors, and still say, okay, this part is mine. This part isn't. And that's okay. That's not rebellion. That's faith. That's freedom. That's authenticity. It's okay. Eat the meat, spit out the bones. But again, your faith walk is personal. Spirituality is not a one-size-fits-all type of thing. Okay? Now, before we wrap up this episode, I want to shout out our sponsor, Ninth Crown. I also want to shout out the Plug Network. Listen, we're leveling up. We're leveling up. So while you're watching and while you're listening during season 2, you're going to hear some things as we're leveling up. But I'm excited. I'm excited. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Sacred Unfiltered. Don't forget to follow, like, rate, review the show, however you're listening, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. And if you're viewing or listening via YouTube, don't forget to hit subscribe. Until next time, keep asking the hard questions and keep loving God in a way that is unapologetically yours. Next week, we're diving into a conversation, unlearning religion, relearning relationship. Until next time, stay sacred, stay unfiltered.